Straight ahead on 12 News, one of Maple Grove's largest employers tries to get a lot smaller when it comes to its carbon footprint. Plus, a Hopkins student's semester lesson that can't be replicated in a classroom.
I'm really happy that my school was able to allow me to do it.
But first, what it means for a city to become age-friendly. 12 News starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. Maple Grove is a fairly young city, but it won't be that way for long.
Just over 12% of its residents are above age 60, and that's relatively young compared to other cities. But another 16% are between 50 to 60 years old, and that's leading to some planning changes. Eric Nelson joins us with more on that. Eric?
Yeah, Alex and Mike, Maple Grove has received plenty of praise for its growth and vision in recent years. Now the suburb has its sights set on a new goal, becoming a so-called age-friendly city. From 8 to 80, Maple Grove wants to make their city desirable for all ages.
It looks at kind of our built environment, but also our programs and policies and how we address the various stages of life. And so kind of around this notion that if you build your community and provide services to address 8-year-olds and 80-year-olds, you've really addressed the broad spectrums of needs in the community.
Now, Maple Grove is one of the first suburbs in Minnesota that is trying to become age-friendly. To qualify, there are several key things the city is focusing on. Those factors include outdoor spaces and buildings, transportation, housing, civic participation and employment, and community health services.
We certainly want to give people the opportunity to stay in the community, age in the community, and really live a full life here. And so as we look at this program, we'll be looking for those opportunities of where we might, fill in some gaps or make improvements. But I think we're really sitting in a pretty good place today, too.
The AARP and the World Health Organization have teamed up to try and convince cities that they should become age-friendly. Maple Grove's Park Board will be in charge of seeing what action will be taken in the future. And Alex and Mike, Brooklyn Park will also look into becoming age-friendly.
All right, Eric, thank you. A Wisconsin teen remains in critical condition after a fiery crash in Maple Grove.
The crash happened on Saturday evening in a construction zone on I-94 near Hemlock Lane. The State Patrol says the driver was speeding heading west in the left lane when he was forced to swerve to avoid another vehicle. The teen's car hit construction barrels, flipped, and caught fire. In Golden Valley, work to rebuild Douglas Drive is underway. The road is closed between Duluth Street and Medicine Lake Road. A detour is in effect until fall. The project will add turn lanes, improve sidewalks, update intersections, and widen shoulders and bike lanes.
Major work is set to begin on a school that's been closed for the past 6 years. The Robbinsdale School Board recently approved more than $16 million for maintenance and improvements to Pilgrim Lane Elementary School in Plymouth. And that includes an addition and a reconstructed parking lot. The district closed the school in 2010 due to budget cuts and declining enrollment. But since then, enrollment has gone up and the school board decided to reopen Pilgrim Lane. Work will begin in July and be complete in mid-2017.
An effort is underway to get local Liberian immigrants to take better care of their health. In Brooklyn Park Saturday, a health fair included screening for diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. They are among the diseases that disproportionately impact the African community. Organizers used the time to talk about lifestyle changes.
Here's your blood pressure. Here's what it means to you. Okay, this number means that you are at risk of developing hypertension. Okay, in terms of that, we are also educating them to say, what can you do with your eating habit, with your lifestyle that will reduce your behavior?
As an incentive to get people in the door, the nonprofit Free Bikes for Kids supplied 50 donated bicycles. 2 more health fairs like this one are planned in the fall. A Golden Valley teen has returned from an eye-opening study abroad trip.
Hopkins student Ellen Sussman spent the spring semester in Israel. Reporter Sonia Goen shows us why Ellen calls this the trip of a lifetime.
This is at the Dead Sea. That's just a fun thing to do in Israel.
We caught up with Ellen Sussman at the Jewish Community Center in St. Louis Park. It's a place filled with history and art, subjects Ellen is now familiar with.
I was not hesitant at all. I was really excited to go. This is my class. We spent a lot of time with them. Being there, I could actually feel the connection because I learned things that I didn't know existed before.
Instead of sitting in a classroom at Hopkins High School, she was able to attend Alexander Muss High School for 4 months in Israel.
I honestly believe that you can't understand something until you've been there, and it just made me understand things so much better.
She says school in Israel is much different.
You do take similar classes, but you take so many more classes, and then you get to study Jewish history and about Israel while you're at the site where something happened. It's really cool.
Part of her studies took her to Poland.
I'm at Auschwitz, and we're holding the Israeli flag as a symbol of perseverance.
That's where she met a woman who survived the Holocaust.
It's actually Anne Frank's best friend, and we got to hear about Anne Frank through her eyes, which was a really cool thing.
One of the highlights of Ellen's trip was training at an Israeli Defense Forces base.
This is me with shooting the gun. We had to stand in formation, and it was a lot of discipline.
Her studies also took her through the West Bank, a center of conflict between Israelis and the Palestinians.
In a 30-mile period of space, there were 32 terrorist organizations.
You know what's around you, but you don't feel it at all when you're there.
Her dad says he's proud of Ellen's accomplishments.
Definitely, I think, a renewed and enhanced attachment and importance of Judaism in her life.
While Ellen is now more connected to her heritage.
It was the best experience that I've had so far, and I'm really happy that my school was able to allow me to do it.
Sonia Goins, 12 News.
The Israeli Study Abroad program is through the Jewish National Fund. The program is open to all high school students. Well, coming up, a more earth-friendly lunch at Boston Scientific.
And then a little bit later in sports, local baseball standouts shine in all-star game action.
But first, temperatures remain relatively cool on Tuesday.
In Maple Grove over the weekend, hundreds of families waited to see the inside of Children's Learning Adventure, a first-of-its-kind childcare facility in Minnesota. Amber Stewart was the first in line to see this new facility.
Yeah, she got there at 5:45 a.m. for the 9 o'clock opening.
We've been watching them build the building for the last probably 9 months or so, and I know even when I had my son who's 7 months old, we were just looking around and wanted to check out different centers in the area.
The Children's Learning Adventure takes up a lot of space, 33,000 square feet, but the company says don't let its size fool you. It features intimate learning settings with a wide range of activities. The fact that the Arizona-based company chose Maple Grove is no coincidence either.
When we decided to come in the Minneapolis market, we did a lot of research here, and immediately Maple Grove jumped off the map as a market we wanted to be in.
And inside you'll find a cooking classroom, a bowling alley, and a modern dance studio. Children's Learning Adventure accepts kids from 6 months through 12 years old. A Boston Scientific in Maple Grove is trying to increase its recycling rates.
In this week's Business Matters, a look at why reducing waste helps the company too. On the Maple Grove campus of Boston Scientific, you'll find 2,700 employees working on state-of-the-art heart-related medical devices.
Thank you.
But wander into the company cafeteria and what you won't find is styrofoam.
We would get sporadic feedback from employees asking when are we going to remove the styrofoam, why do we still have styrofoam?
Recycling efforts aren't new to Boston Scientific. They've grown greener each year as a landfill-free site and by installing a new water purification system designed to save 4 million gallons of water annually.
So this is an example of some of the dinnerware we've changed over as part of our composting program.
Composting is the latest project with dinnerware that's now compostable and will eventually turn into soil for farms and gardens.
Boston Scientific has a large footprint within this community, so we want to make sure we're good stewards to our neighbors and just doing the right thing for the environment.
At $125,000 a year, it's no small investment to commit to composting.
Because styrofoam is inexpensive, plastic forks and plates are inexpensive, but the certified compostable materials have a higher price point.
It's an effort, though, that can help retain and attract top talent.
Everybody was excited to get rid of the styrofoam.
As employees get up to speed on which items go in which bins, there's education that Brian Berkheimer appreciates.
I mean, especially if you're not accustomed to it, then you have to check the guides and see where do I throw my products and everything. But after you do it for a while, you get to know which ones go where. It's pretty easy.
The compost program is expected to reduce the amount of trash each year by 48 tons as this company continues to make green strides.
All three of these would now go into the compost bin versus what would have originally gone into our regular trash container.
Boston Scientific also plans to install electric car charging stations on its Maple Grove campus later this summer. Coming up, local students get ready for a Spanish singing adventure.
But first, local players take the field at the annual Minnesota All-Star football game. John Jacobson has the highlights next.
After 5 days of practice in central Minnesota, 88 prep football all-stars came together Saturday for the annual Minnesota Football Coaches Association Tackle Cancer all-star football game. Osseo's Prince Cruro, one of the players on the North all-star team. The South, though, takes the first lead of the game. Lakeville quarterback Drew Stewart to Josh Kirk from Tracy Milroy Ballatin. 10-yard touchdown and a 6-0 South lead. Second quarter, check out the one-handed sack by Totino Grace's Lewis Kidd here. Big play for the North All-Stars, slowing a South drive. And it sets up a long scoring drive for the North. Late in the first half, it's Osseo's Demario Armstrong with a great leaping catch in the end zone and a pass from Blake Cragness from Dilworth. The North takes a 14-13 lead into halftime. Third quarter, and Bram quarterback John Larson. Nice throw here to Orono's David McCuskey for a touchdown. The North expands its lead to go up 21-13. Cragness, who is the North offensive MVP, tosses his second touchdown pass of the game. This one to Tommy Pavic of Monoman, 28-13 midway through the third. Demario Armstrong gets the game's final touchdown with another terrific grab. This one on a pass from Larson. Helps give the North All-Stars a 38-19 win. A little celebration to kick 24 second-half points for the North to get that win. The All-Star football game is usually a yearly event, but there will be another one in less than 6 months. As we told you last week, the game will be switched from being played in the summer to right after the football season in early December. Game director Dave Fritzie told our Jay Wilcox some reasons for the switch.
One of the biggest reasons that we want to move the game is to make sure that we get the best football players in the state playing in the game. As you know, we don't get any of the Division I football players here because all of the colleges want them to report and go to summer school so they can do summer workouts. So as the game moves to December, we'll be able to get all those guys in the game and hopefully even make it a greater game than it already is.
The All-Star game for seniors in the coming school year will be December 3rd at the new U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It was All-Star weekend for baseball as well. With the switch from 6 teams from 4, local players are now on 2 different squads, the Metro North and the Metro West. And those teams met up Friday night in the tournament in Chanhassen. Hopkins' John Cook gets the start on the mound for the Metro West, and he gets a strikeout to end a scoreless first inning. Bottom of the second inning in this game, Metro North, Stan Hansen singles to left field. Ball gets past the left fielder. Nick Peterson from St. Anthony scores. It's 1-0 on Hansen's single. Cook answers with his bat in the top of the third inning. He'll have a blast here to left field that clears the wall. A solo home run for Cook ties the game at 1. Metro North breaks the game open in the bottom of the third inning. Champlin Park's Derek Smith with a solid hit to left center. Peterson scores again, and it's a 3-1 game. Smith's teammate, Riley Johnson, follows with another big hit, grounding one past third base into left. Hanson scores. Josh Thorpe of Armstrong also scores. Johnson with the single, scoring 2. Metro North leads at 5-1. Maple Grove's Isaac Collins caps off the inning with this opposite field blast. His hit clears the wall for a grand slam. Metro North scores 7 runs in the 4th inning. They roll to a 10-1 win. Great game for the local players. The Metro North All-Stars went on to win the championship game Saturday, beating Metro East 4-0. Isaac Collins of Maple Grove won the MVP award, and Maple Grove resident Alex Babacek of Totino Grace was the pitching MVP for the tournament. Checking some other sports notes from a busy weekend in the area. 2 local players were selected in the NHL draft. Rem Pitlick of Plymouth was chosen in the 3rd round, number 76 overall, by the Nashville Predators. Gopher recruit Pitlick played at Shattuck St. Mary's, then last season was the USHL Forward of the Year. He scored 46 goals and 43 assists. He's the son of former Cooper, U of M, and NHL defenseman Lance Pitlick. Former Wayzata sniper Max Zimmer was chosen in the 4th round by Carolina. The Wisconsin recruit played for Chicago of the USHL last season, scoring 16 goals with 21 assists. And at the State High School League's Clay Target Shooting Championships, Max Bunning of Wayzata placed 3rd, hitting 99 out of 100 targets. You get 99 out of 100 and you only get 3rd place. That's pretty good competition.
Absolutely. Wow. Thanks a lot, John.
Thank you, John. Still ahead, a singing trip of a lifetime.
And we will be right back. A local girls' choir is taking its soothing sounds all the way to Spain. The Partners in Praise Girls Choir is directed by Brooklyn Center resident Julia Fahey.
The group leaves for Spain next week, offering a unique opportunity to experience culture.
I think it'll be really cool because a lot of the girls know Spanish, so it's a good way for us to use language that we learn in school. And I think it's just somewhere that there's so many great places we can sing, and then it's also cool because we brought so many pieces in Spanish.
To raise money for the trip, the choir held bake sales and sold flowers. And 7th grader Viana Hernandez is one of the students fluent in Spanish. She says she would sing every minute of the day if she could.
I like how it makes me feel. It makes me feel really good and confident, and I learn a lot.
20 students in grades 7 through 12 will be part of the trip. I'm sure it'll be one they remember a long time.
Incredible opportunity for them.
That'll do it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We will leave you with more from the Partners in Praise Girls Choir. Enjoy.